Now in this section, we're going to look at my own real life case study where I'll be creating a brand new Facebook ads campaign for a new untested product that I'm going to try and sell on my website, and you can follow me every step of the way. Now, as you will likely already know, what I do is I build Shopify websites and other e-commerce websites, mainly Shopify websites, and I drive traffic to these mainly through advertising on Facebook and Google. So in this section, what I plan on doing is allowing you guys a look over my shoulder at my own methods, my own testing, my own results, real results with a real case study. And it's going to be something that you can sort of just watch as I go along over a period of time. It's probably going to be around 2 weeks to a month that I'm going to record this over. And basically, it's just to show you how everything can come together. Everything that you've learned through this course so far, everything that you've tried, everything that you've heard about or watched me do throughout the course up until now, will be put into practice in a real life, real business scenario. And it's going to be easy for you to go away and do the same on your own website with your own product. So here's what we'll see: the full anatomy of a Facebook ads campaign for a new untested product. And as you'll see, I've got an S in brackets, and that's because I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm going to show you this campaign from start to finish. And I say products because the first product might fail. It's well known that testing products, you find sometimes, and very often actually, that sometimes a product just simply cannot be sold through Facebook ads. No matter how much testing, you just never seem to find the winning method, the winning recipe for that product. And you lose a lot of money, but you get a lot of data. And there comes a point where you just say, you know what, I'm going to try a different product. So that's why I say products. This section might actually show me testing adverts for all sorts of different products if I can't find a winner. And as I say, failure is often part of the testing process, and you will have seen throughout this course, perhaps in the measuring and analysis of results section, that I in fact do run a lot of ad sets that do run at a loss. And the fact is, it's the law of averages. The more ad sets you run, the more likely you are to find a winner, but obviously the more likely you are to have a lot more losers. And having ad sets that don't work is just all part of the system. And you're going to see me launching ad sets and then analyzing ad sets, to killing ad sets that simply don't work and run at a loss, to then finding out which demographics and interests are working, and I'll be narrowing and scaling winning ad sets and the whole campaign, scaling the whole campaign. And I'll be almost completely transparent. I'm not going to show you the interests. I'm not going to show you the product. That's simply because of, for privacy. This is one of my real life businesses, and if you've taken my Shopify dropshipping course, you'll know that it isn't best practice to share with other people in this marketing space what you're selling, because what happens is, and it's happened with things before, is that people see it and they see that you're making a lot of money from it, and then they copy you, and the market just gets saturated for that product. So I hope you understand that I can't be fully transparent in terms of what I'm actually advertising here, but the methods can apply to any product in terms of what types of ad sets I'm using, how I'm analyzing my ad sets, killing, narrowing, and scaling. And obviously, the whole section in itself is very, very transparent. You are going to see the full campaign. And as I said, even if I have a product that I lose a lot of money on because I simply can't find the winning interests or demographic, you're going to see that a lot of people, a lot of gurus specifically that sell, really expensive courses, they only show you what worked for them. They don't show you what didn't work. And I bet there are a lot of things that didn't work for them before they found what worked. In this case, I'm going to show you everything. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You're going to know about it. Things to note. As I said, this is going to be recorded over a period of time. When I made this PowerPoint, I thought it would be a very short case study, 7 to 14 days. I have since gone off and done some, jotting down and brainstorming, and I think it's going to take a minimum of 14 days to record this, because I will basically have to launch ad sets, let them run a couple of days, come back, look at the data, take action, let them run a couple of days again, and so on and so on and so on. I will be using data I already know about my customers. For example, if you are selling a product and you've been selling it for a number of months, and you know through your analytics, be it Facebook ads analytics or Google analytics, that your main customer are males in the US between ages 16 and 40, then you would be able to use that data on all your future campaigns. Now, I have similar data about my customers, and I know the rough demographic, and therefore I won't be testing my product on females, for example, because I know that this is a male product. And if you're selling a product that you have a very strong opinion about who is likely to be interested in this, then obviously don't advertise to the people that you don't think are going to be interested in it. Test the audience that you think is most likely to work first. Also, I already have a lot of lookalike audiences available to use. These are lookalike audiences such as add to baskets, website visitors, top 25%, purchases, repeat customers, lookalike audiences that I've shown you how to create earlier in this course. However, I'm not going to use those lookalike audiences in this campaign. Or rather, I won't just use those lookalike audiences. I will be creating custom audiences, and I will be creating brand new lookalike audiences specific to this product in this section, and you'll see me create the custom audience, and you'll see me use the lookalike audiences I create using the custom audience as a source. I will not be disclosing the exact ad targeting and creative, so I won't be showing you the interests, I won't be showing you the actual ads, and I won't be showing you the product or the website. But I will provide, some info as to how I've gone about the interests, for example, be it magazines or celebrities or competitors, etc. And the type of creative as far as it goes, whether I've done a slideshow ad, a video ad, a single image ad, a carousel ad. I'll show all spend and all revenue of the campaign in full, and we'll also look at the return on ad spend, and we'll also look at the profit. We'll take into account the product cost as well, so you are going to see the full picture here, not just the revenue. You're going to see the profit. So it'll be in a number of different parts, and part one, as I said very briefly, it will just be me launching multiple ad sets targeting different interests and different demographics or different devices, for example. Ignore the bit about lookalike audiences in the first bullet point. I won't be using the lookalike audiences I've already created from my website as a whole. I've decided I'm going to just use the lookalike audiences that I create through custom audiences that will be built through running these ad sets in this campaign. I'll be running these ad sets at low budgets over a period of around 3 days. However, I am going away this weekend, so it may be 4 or 5 days before I get a chance to look at these ad sets again. I'll be testing all sorts from countries, ages, devices, placements, things like that. And basically what this part is just gathering data for me to use and act on. Analyze the data, see what works best, and then act on that. And actually, we might actually be profitable straight away from this part one, and we may have, a couple of ad sets that are actually making sales and are profitable. That would be the ideal scenario. Obviously, it isn't a typical scenario. Part two, look at the return on ad spend for each ad set so far. And then we look deep into the data gathered using the breakdown tab, as I've shown you how to use it before, from the ad sets to make decisions on what is working the best and what isn't working, and how I should, how I should spend my budget, what I should cut out, and what I should spend more money on. I'll also calculate my total profit or loss. Profit or loss, we may be making a loss at this point. So you can see just how successful or unsuccessful we are at that point. And then we'll go ahead and kill any unprofitable ad sets, and we'll narrow or scale any profitable ad sets. Part 3 will be scaling winning ads. We'll be looking at the reports once more after another couple of days to brainstorm where we can duplicate the winners into. So we'll be scaling by either a budget increase on the winning ad sets, the ad sets that are profitable and are driving sales, by increasing the budget by 20 to 25% every 3 or so days. Or we'll be duplicating the ad sets to higher budgets. So say we're running our ad sets at £5 a day, they're profitable, we duplicate the ad set and we put it at £10 a day or £20 a day or £25 a day. Or my favourite, which is the one I'm probably most likely to do in this campaign, duplicate winners to new narrow targeting as per the data, or duplicate the winners to new areas for continued testing. So for example, if we have ad sets running profitably, hitting a specific audience on iPhone, we can duplicate that ad set and we can hit that same audience but on desktop only or Android only, for example. If we are hitting up the UK and we're profitable in the UK, we could duplicate the UK ad sets, but instead of hitting the UK again, we can change it to hitting Ireland, or we can change it to hitting Australia, or we can change it to hitting America. Just duplicating the winning ad sets to new areas to continue testing, and you may find more profitable areas in addition to the one you already have and that you are duplicating from. If this is confusing to you, don't worry, you are going to see me do this. You are going to see me talk about having done this and the results gathered from having done this in this campaign. Part 4 will be scaling continued. We'll be killing any new losers if we have duplicated to new areas to continue testing. We'll be looking at the return on ad spend on any new or duplicate ad sets. We will continue scaling winners, where we've still got a good cost per purchase and are still in profit. And we'll either decrease or maintain budgets on ad sets where we've increased the budget to scale it, but where CPP has increased too. And basically what this will be, will just be removing anything that isn't profitable and just continuing building up what is profitable, continue removing anything that isn't working very well, and just optimizing our budget to what is working best, and we should be hopefully profitable by this point. So that is the introduction to the section. That's how it's going to go and how it's going to play out. If you're ready to watch and see what happens with this real life case study, then feel free to get stuck in and watch the whole section play out. Today is Wednesday. It's early in the afternoon here in the UK, and I've just been brainstorming this morning about how to go about testing this product, and I've decided that I'm going to spend £75 a day over a period of 3 days for a total of £225. And that is broken down into 15 different ad sets here. And so basically, as I said, I'm already using some data that I know about my audience just from my Google Analytics. But if you know your audience, you'll probably be able to do a similar thing as this, what I'm doing now, without any data, if you already know who your audience is. So I'm going to be targeting, my ad sets are going to be split up by age and by country. They're all going to be targeting males. They're all only going to be on iPhone and on Facebook newsfeed and Instagram feed. No other placements other than those 2 placements on iPhones. Interests, I'm undecided as to how I'm going to stack them, how many interests I'm going to go for, whether I'm going to go down the route of putting competitors or celebrities on magazines or TV shows, etc. into the interests. I'll let you know that after I've done it, after I've decided it. But basically the 3 age groups are 18 to 24 and 25 to 34, because this one converts, I know is going to convert extremely well because it already converts well for other products on my website, and the product I'm going to be selling using this case study campaign is very much catered toward this age group and to this age group to an extent. And then I want to test older age groups because I've had purchases from them in the past, And if I don't target them, if I don't advertise to them, I could perhaps be leaving money on the table, but this might make a loss. I was going to do 35 to 44 and 45 to 54 and spend a bit more money each day, but I figured why not group these together because I'm unsure about them. If they do work, I can duplicate, I can branch out, and I can run separate campaigns for these different age groups here and spend more money. But for now, this is what my ages are going to look like. So that's my ages, and then I'm targeting 10 countries. I've got the big four, and then a couple in Europe, a couple. The large countries, they're very popular in terms of Facebook ads. People do target them a lot, but I can't really justify making, if I was to target each country separately in separate ad sets, along with these different age groups, I'd be looking at over, I think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd be looking at 30 ad sets, and I'd be spending £150 a day, and I'd spend £450 over the period of 3 days. But this is a testing period, and I don't want to spend that much money in case this product is in fact not a winning product, not something I can advertise. But anyway, this is how I'm splitting my countries up: US, UK, Canada, Australia, and then I've bunched the 6 other countries together in other. So this will, when I'm targeting these other countries, there'll be an ad set that just has 6 countries in the locations rather than just a single one. And that equals 3 times 5, because we've got 3 ages, 5 countries, and then all this will stay uniform throughout the different ad sets. That's 15 different ad sets. So I'll have a US 18 to 24 with these settings. I'll have a UK 18 to 24 with these settings, a Canada 18 to 24 with these settings, and so on and so on. And then I'll have a 25 to 34 for each of these, and that's how you get, the 15. 3 times 5. And they're all going to run at £5 a day each. That equals £75 a day for a total of 225 over 3 days. And then what I will do is I plan on making lookalike audiences from the results once I've had 100 page views and 100 add to carts and 100 purchases. So I'll have a lookalike audience that is similar to people who viewed this specific product that I'm advertising here, to these people. And then hopefully once I get 100 add to carts and 100 purchases, it may not be within the next 2 weeks, it may be within the next 2 months or whatever. Then I'll be creating lookalikes for this, and I'll be running ad sets to those lookalikes. And you'll see that when it happens. But I just wanted to let you know what I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to be splitting my ad sets up just for this testing period. So in the next video, I will have actually set up my ad sets. I'll have either scheduled them to begin running, or they will indeed be running, and I'll discuss just how it's going and the plan going forward, and I'll probably also talk about how I decided to go about these interests. I'm happy to know that the initial ad sets are now launched, and I can chat to you in detail about the settings basically and the creative that I've chosen to go with. So here are the details. I ended up choosing to go with just launching 5 ad sets. This is a lot less than my original brainstorm, but the reason for that is that I decided not to split them up by country, and I didn't go with the 35 to 54 age group either. I just stuck with 18 to 24 and 25 to 34. And I figured if they work, then I can scale out upwards to those new age groups later. Each of the 5 ad sets has a daily budget of £5, so that's a total of £25 a day being spent on this campaign so far. I've split the ad sets between iPhone and desktop and by age. I haven't split them by country, so each ad set has a number of different countries in the locations area. I've stacked the interests, so I have a box of interests of celebrities in the niche that this product is about, and there's over 10 celebrities. I've just clicked as many as possible. The same with magazines in another box, so they have to like at least one of these celebrities and at least one of these magazines. And then I added a second celebrities box in which I only put the key celebrities that, die-hard interested people that follow this niche will like. So there were just 4 main celebrities in that box. And then in my fourth and final box, I just had a couple of interests that basically cover the whole niche, all the bases really. And to be honest, when I added that box, the audience size didn't really go down much, but I added it in anyway. So basically, people that are being hit by this ad, like at least one of the celebrities I added to the general celebrities box, at least one of the magazines about the niche, at least one of the 4 main celebrities, and at least one of the activities in the general box. So that's how I did my interests. I am now letting them run for 3 days, and I'm heading away this weekend, so it may be slightly more than that, but we'll see. I'm pretty excited. I think I'm going to get a couple of winning ad sets from this, and hopefully we'll be able to scale it up and out. I don't expect that we'll be in profit after these 3 days, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, this is the campaign so far. If you're ready, you can head over to the next video. It's running now, this case study campaign, with my 5 ad sets in. I've left this running for over 4 days, and really I should have just left this 3 days and come and checked it and taken action on the data that I'd received after 3 days. But this product, it costs a lot of money. I'm selling it for £50 and I'm buying it for just under £21. And also, I was away this weekend and didn't have my Mac with me, so that didn't help. But I've jumped straight on here Monday morning and I'm checking the ad sets now. And as you can see, the amount spent, it hasn't spent on desktop. It spent £5.40 on desktop over 4 days, 37 pence over 4 days on desktop here. Whereas on iPhone, it's been spending its total full daily budget, which is £5. It's been spending its full daily budget, every day. And looking at the data here, we are actually in profit with these 3 iPhone ad sets. Very slight profit. It's not a lot of money being made here, but it is a profit at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is scrap the desktop ad sets for now, because they just aren't running, they just aren't spending. So I'm going to scrap them. So I've turned them off. They're no longer running. I'm saving myself £10 maximum there. However, it hasn't actually been spending money. But I've got my safety net there. I've got rid of this £10 potential spend. So we're now spending £15 a day on this campaign. And what we want to do now, we've got 3 purchases, 1 from each ad set, which is nice. We've got more add to carts in this one than the other 2. This has less add to carts, and in fact it's got a higher CPC. So whether that's to do with the age range, maybe, but it's too early to really make a judgment on that. What I'm going to do now is look at the breakdowns. I'm going to figure out, perhaps, maybe I've been spending the majority of my money on a particular country or region or device or placement, and maybe it's now that these are profitable, maybe it's now time to work out where these purchases have actually come from in terms of country, region, placement, device, etc. And maybe it's time to start breaking out these ad sets, scaling them out, duplicating them out, using the duplicate button into different countries, into different regions, into different placements. So let's look through the breakdown. First of all, we'll go to country. So as you can see, it's quite an even spread on the spend across the countries. And again, the same, quite an even spread. And this one quite an even spread, however, this one's quite heavily been spent on. And that's interesting. So looking at these, let's check out the CPCs on each of these countries. Okay. So you can't actually see the country name right now, but what I'm seeing is Germany and Australia are the two countries that we got the purchases from. And all the CPCs, most of them, there's one that is above £1 here, that's Denmark. I don't mind telling you that. And then this one hasn't even had, well, it says there's no CPC, but it's had 3 content views. So the CPC, I don't know why that's not reporting correctly, to be honest. And what else? There's no others above £1, which is good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down on my notepad that both the sales, all 3 sales have come from Australia. One from Australia, this one right here, 2 from Germany, so clearly Germany and Australia have potential. We've got an add to basket here, Denmark. We've got and an add to basket here, which is the USA. And it's also worth checking out the data that you received off the 2 desktop ad sets that you've stopped running as well. As you can see, we only really spent money on Germany and the UK and the US. I'm not sure what happened here. Perhaps in fact, what I will do in this video is duplicate both of these ad sets, and I'll rerun them and we'll see what happens. We'll see if they work properly this time. It may be a case that I've forgotten to put the locations in properly or something like that, but I doubt it. I think I just need to duplicate them and run them from scratch again. So anyway, I'm gonna leave the countries as is. I'm not gonna take out any countries. I'm not gonna add any countries. What I'm gonna do is scale out by duplicating and running ad sets to different specific countries or different specific groups of countries. I'm going to go off after this video. I'm going to write down in my notepad. I'm going to work out how much I'm going to spend and work out how to group these countries together or whether to just run to each country separately. Impression device, yeah, should be just iPhone and desktop, that's good. Platform, only running on Facebook. Placement, newsfeed, only running on newsfeed. Okay. Also, guys, look at the website content views column. We've had 202. And as I had planned, I will be creating a lookalike audience from view contents now that I've had 100 of them. Obviously 100 view contents is not a lot to go off. I would rather have, at least 500, maybe even 1,000, because view contents are not hard to get. They're really easy to get. They're very cheap to get. But because time is of the essence and I want you guys to get this course as soon as possible, and I don't want this case study to last a month or 2 months even, I'm going to create a custom audience of people who have viewed this specific product that I'm using for the case study, and then I will also, in addition to scaling out these ad sets by country, I will also be creating some large lookalike audiences. I'll be doing 5 different audiences from 1% to 5%. It will be targeted worldwide, and it will probably also be very open in terms of the age, I'll probably go from 13 all the way through to 35 or something like that. Just leave it open and let the Facebook pixel find me buyers, hopefully. I will be adding interests in. I'll be using the same interests that I use in these winning ad sets, and we'll see how it goes. Okay guys, this is my custom audience settings for the view contents. So I've selected people who visited specific web pages in the past 30 days, URL contains, and then in this box, I have covered it up, but basically what you would do is go over to the product page on your website and it will say www.mystore.com/collections/the collection the product's in /product/product name, something like that. And I would just highlight the actual product name in the URL and copy and paste it into here, and it'll be like product dash name example. So if you, for example, if your product is 3 words, it'll say word 1 dash word 2 dash word 3. That's basically what this right here is. It's just the product name. So it's basically targeting people who have just viewed this product page or viewed at least this product page in the last 30 days. And my audience name is Case Study Product Views 30 Days. I'm going to create this audience now, and then in the next video I will have created ad sets targeting lookalike audiences using this custom audience as a source. And as I said, the lookalike audiences will be 1% all the way through to 5%, 5 different audiences, and it will be a worldwide targeting. It'll be a really open targeting. So the custom audience finished updating. I created 9 lookalike audiences across 3 different countries, and they are now all running in separate ad sets. I duplicated my winning original iPhone ad sets across 4 different countries, and the original desktop ad sets that just didn't spend any money I've duplicated and doubled the budgets. Tried to kickstart it, basically see if it'll work and actually spend some money and see if desktop is worth testing and checking out. So here we are, we've got 18 to 24 males desktop only, 25 to 34 males desktop only. They're the 2 that I've duplicated. So this is £10 a day and this is £10 a day, and you can see here these are the desktop original ones that just didn't spend much at all over 4 days, and they've been killed. I've hit the kill switch on these, as you can see. And let's go from top to bottom. So I've shown you that, and I've shown you that. An original, an original, and an original. So they're the ones that I've duplicated from. So this is my a duplicate of the winning iPhone ad set, 18 to 24 males to just Australia, and the same to just Australia, 25 to 34 males. These 3 are my Australia lookalikes. I'm running to 1%, 2%, and between 2 and 5%. Well, up to 1%, between 1 and 2%, and between 2 and 5% lookalike audiences. All aged between 18 and 34, males, iPhone only, and I've opened up the interests. I've removed all the interests, so there are no interests in these ad sets. There are a set of interests that I've used to exclude people that like AliExpress, dropshipping, and other related dropshipping websites like DHgate, Alibaba.com. I've excluded people that like those, that have those as an interest. So they're 3 of my 9 lookalikes right there to Australia. And then I also duplicated the original winning iPhone only ad sets and grouped all the smaller countries together into 2 ad sets, 18 to 24 and 25 to 34. As you can see, I've got Belgium, Denmark, Netherlands, New Zealand, Sweden, and Norway. And then I've done the same to Canada, 18, 24, 25 to 34, iPhone only. And the same to Germany, 18 to 24, 25 to 34, iPhone only. And these are my Germany lookalikes, 1%, 2%, 2 to 5%. And my UK duplicates from the winning iPhone ad sets and my UK lookalikes. Now these are higher budgets because they have larger audiences, and also all the 2 to 5% lookalike audiences have daily budgets of £10. No, sorry, £5. Whereas these ones, the 1% and the 2%, have £3. And all these, the duplicates from the winning iPhone ad sets, they have daily budgets of £3 as well. I would go £5, but because I'm doing that many different tests at once, I'm going £3 just so I don't spend too much money. Because this is still very early days. So they're my UK lookalikes, and then I've got US finally, just duplicated the winning iPhone ad set to the US because it's such a huge audience. I mean, the US itself, these two ad sets, the audience sizes in these two ad sets are actually more larger audiences than, the one where I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different countries together. There are more people that are going to be hit by this US only ad, than there are in these two ad sets with 6 different countries. That's just how big the US audiences are. I've even added extra interests to the US one just to narrow it down slightly further. And even though the US wasn't a winning country in terms of the 3 sales I've had so far, it was the Australia and Germany. I just thought if I target the US separately, I can then test the US and see if it's a winning country, and if it's not, I can then come back and constrain these winning ad sets and remove the US from them, because clearly this US only ad set is going to show me whether or not it's worth keeping the US. If I lose money here and it's not profitable, and clearly the US are not interested in this case study product, I will come and constrain these winning ad sets, and I'll remove the US from the targeting. And what that will do is remove a huge chunk of the audience. Almost half of the audience I would expect will be removed just from removing the US from the targeting, which means that I'm going to stop spending money showing this ad to people in the US, and instead it's going to be showing to people much more frequently in the countries that are going to be working. I'm going to be showing it in Germany and Australia more often, because they're going to be almost 40-50% of this audience size is going to be removed if I remove the US from the targeting. So that's what I've done today, guys. We're just going to let these run now for another couple of days, and we will check out the data that we receive. We'll check out our revenue made and amount spent, if we're in profit. I don't expect to be in profit, I'll be honest. I expect this ROAS to be around 1, but we'll see what happens. We're still in the testing period, and still gathering data, finding out who to show this ad to, what's going to work best. But yeah, that's how we are doing so far, and I'll see you in the next update. So back with the case study. We're finally back. It is the 14th of August. I believe the last update was around the 10th of July, where we did loads of lookalike audiences and duplicated loads of stuff. I let them run, and I have since kept the winners, found the winners and kept the winners. I actually had 3 ad sets running as of this morning. I've just killed this one. Can't remember my reasoning for doing so. I think it was something to do with the cost per add to carts. Of course, it was profitable, but only slightly. In fact, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to turn it back on. I wouldn't advise doing this yourself, but screw it. Anyway, so as I said, I just left these running just to basically see what happened, and I kept coming back every so often and killing the losers, those that started losing me money. And at the moment, the view is last 30 days, 15th of July to 13th of August. If I change that to 15th to the 22nd of July, The website ROAS was 1.45. We'd spent 500 and made 300, made 800. We were, I believe, just in profit, very slightly in profit with this. And if I move it to 22nd to 29th, 1.91. So it's gone up slightly, but the actual revenue made was less, and that's because I killed a lot of the losing ad sets, a lot of the worst performing ad sets. And then if I go from the 29th to the 5th, you see it jumps to 2.24. We're now making a 2 times return on ad spend with just the 3 ad sets. As you can see, I was only spending money on these 3. And I can't remember what the daily budgets were, but I have since brought down the daily budgets, and the ROAS has improved a lot. And when I say brought down the budgets, I mean they were about £5 or £10 a day because I was scaling them up, and the cost per purchase started increasing, so I started scaling back down and down and down, and now they're running at about £5 or £3.60, £5, £5. So I just scaled them back down, I believe. Anyway, so that's that. If we go to last 30 days, we have a 1.86 return on ad spend over 30 days. That's 800 spent, 1,600 made, which isn't amazing, but considering the cost of the product, the selling here and the profit margins we're working with, I'm happy to continue at that level. But actually, if I click last 14 days, you'll see that Facebook's started optimizing really well, and it goes up to a 3.2 return on ad spend without me doing anything. And this lookalike audience in particular goes up to a 6 times return on ad spend, with a cost per purchase of £8.40, which is really, really good. And 200 spent, 600 made, and we're in a really, really tidy profit now. And then finally, if we go last 7 days, 4.37, just less than £100 spent and 400 returned through this campaign. So what I'm going to do is end this case study here, and you will see that we are finally running at a really good profit. If we click all time, I believe, click lifetime, yeah, we are well in profit now. 1,500 spent on this campaign, 2,500 made. And we're selling a product that's £50 in our store, and we're buying it for just under 20. And if we incorporate, the cash back as well, then we really are making quite a bit of money here. And since I've optimized this campaign for the winners, this profit is only going to increase now, because we're no longer running ad sets at a loss. We're no longer testing. We're no longer looking for winners. We've found our winners, and it's very profitable, and we're happy. So I'm going to end this case study here. I hope it's been interesting. I hope it's been educational for you, and I hope it gives you some insight as to different ways of working campaigns, different ways of testing and finding winners and optimizing campaigns. You're not going to find winners right from the off, and often you do have to spend money in the beginning to be able to find these winners and fine tune and optimize and kill off the losers, and just go with the winning ad sets, which is what we're doing now, to a really healthy profit margin. So I'll end this case study here, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.